including in North Carolina. And the thing that they do is largely at the local level these days. It's been a strategy they developed, and we were kind of asleep on the job about it because we look at national legislation a lot. But what they do is they go to county boards. Who sits on county boards? Your neighbor, right? Like people you know who you would avoid discussing politics with because maybe, you know, you say, oh man, because when you drop cisgender around them, they have no idea what you're talking about, right? So you immediately say, wow, so you've never heard that term. If you're foolish, you actually want to have the discussion with them. But anyway, these are the people who sit on county boards, and when somebody says, you know, when these Weasley pro-life, anti-choice dudes shows up at the presentation, well, shouldn't there be a doctor on site at all abortion clinics at all time? But in fact, that's not how it works, right? And their procedure is actually much simpler than what they did in Kansas. Was they legislated how you could have a clinic so hard that you can't open one. It's sort of what's the... Well, yeah, no, I'm just thinking of like things you do in grade school because the tactics of our opposition are very grade school, which means that they are dumb and that they're effective. Right? When I ask you, if you never heard the joke, and I ask you if you want a Hertz donut, and then you say, what's a Hertz donut? And I punch you and say, Hertz donut, right? You have no defense against that if you haven't heard the joke before, right? So, and this is kind of what they've been doing, and they did it at the county level in Wake County. They came down with some of the most restrictive anti-choice legislation in the country, and it happened under everybody's noses because nobody reports county news. The only people who care about it are those of us who have decided, and you have to decide because you won't hear about it from national media, and that's for a number of reasons. But like, unless you are a person who decides to keep up with it, these things happen very quietly, and the people they affect are the people who can't afford abortion services and who don't find out. So what happens is that they show up. Because that is who our opposition preys on. They prey on people who don't have the money to take care of themselves. And that's why those of us who can afford to come to a benefit need to also give as much as we can. If I can just stay on the soapbox a minute longer, I want to encourage those of you who don't do this already to become monthly recurring donors because it's the easiest. I give like $25 a month, which is not a lot of money, to the National Network of Abortion Funds, but when I get the receipt at the end of the year, it turns out that I have done some good and I didn't even feel it, right? I don't miss that money. So I encourage you to do that. You can talk to people at the back and they can explain more to you about it. So, having said that, I think I'll go to the pumpkin and see what. It's definitely criticizing my appearance. Really packing it on since the baby was born. If I see things that generally get played that are among our 2 or 3 biggest hits, I'm going to let them pass without comment. Let's see here. Oh wow. Okay, yeah. This was on Ohio, West Texas. Do I know it? Sophomore year, you rushed for an average of 8 1/3 yards per carry. All eyes were on you, junior year. You cleared me out in an out-of-town game. Nowhere to go but down, down, down. Nothing but the ground left for you to fall to. July, you made a whole bunch of brand new friends, people you used to look down on, and you figured out a way to make real money, giving ends to your friends, and it felt stupendous. Chrome spokes on your Japanese bike, but selling acid was a bad idea, and selling it to a cop was a worse one. And the new law said that 17-year-olds could do federal time. You were the first one, so I